The Epstein files represent one of the most extensive and closely scrutinized document releases in modern US history. More than 6 million pages of court materials, investigative documents, emails, flight logs, address books, photographs, and over 2,000 videos plus 180,000 images, collected as part of federal investigations into the sexual exploitation of minors by Jeffrey Epstein, his 2008 conviction in Florida, the Ghislaine Maxwell case, and related probes. In accordance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, signed into law by President Trump on 19 November 2025, the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, has released major batches of documents, including the largest portion of more than 3 million pages on 30th January 2026, following earlier releases in December 2025. All materials are hosted on the official DOJ Epstein portal at justice.gov/Epstein and are drawn exclusively from government sources, FBI investigations, cases from the Southern District of New York and Southern District of Florida, Inspector General reports, and court archives. It is critically important and repeatedly emphasized in DOJ statements, court documents, and media analyses that mere mention in these files does not imply guilt, involvement in crimes, or even close ties to Epstein's illegal activities. Most references are neutral in nature. Social mentions, newspaper clippings, casual correspondence, flight logs from years before the scandals escalated, or unverified third-party tips. The Department of Justice has officially stated that no client list exists, there is no credible evidence of systematic blackmail of influential figures, and Epstein's death was ruled a suicide. No new criminal charges have been brought against any named individuals based on these releases. Virtually all prominent figures mentioned have publicly denied any involvement in crimes, knowledge of them, or improper conduct, with many having severed ties long before the scandals. The files reveal how Epstein deliberately built a network among the elite, politicians, tech leaders, financiers, entertainment figures, and royal families through his private jet, Palm Beach Mansion, New York Townhouse, or Little Street, James Island. Among the 25 most frequently and prominently mentioned high-profile figures, based on recurring appearances in emails, logs, testimonies, guest lists, and investigative notes, are Times former US President Bill Clinton is mentioned multiple times, including post-presidency flights on Epstein's plane, photographs, some retouched, early 2000s business correspondence, and a reference in testimony to an alleged Epstein comment that Clinton likes them young. Clinton categorically denies any knowledge of crimes and regrets any contacts. Times current US President Donald Trump appears hundreds to thousands of times, most often in news articles via emails, old social ties from before the 2400's flight logs, or unverified 2025 FBI tips. Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago around 2007 to 2008 after reports surfaced ended the friendship, and consistently denies any improper connections or visits to the island. Times former British Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, one of the most mentioned, hundreds of times, including the 2022 settled allegation by Virginia Giaffer, he denies all sexual misconduct claims, introduction letters, photos, guest lists, and contacts after Epstein's 2008 conviction settled without admission of guilt. Times tech and business moguls Elon Musk, Tesla photo or SpaceX CEO, in 2012 to 2014, correspondence about possible meetings on the island or in Florida. Musk denies close ties or visits. Bill Gates, Microsoft co-founder, in meetings, draft letters from 2013 with provocative denied Epstein claims, expresses regret over any contacts, no evidence of wrongdoing. Hedge fund manager Glenn Dubey and retail billionaire Leslie Wexner, former L Brands Solutions Victoria's Secret head, appear in financial ties and denied Giaffer allegations. Times cultural and scientific figures, Michael Jackson, visits to homes, photos with Epstein, Flolaton, Clinton, no accusations. Stephen Hawking, participation in a scientific conference on the island, no hints of misconduct. Attorney Alan Dershowitz, former Epstein lawyer, withdrawn Giaffer claim, denies involvement. Illusionist David Copperfield, performances at the home, denies knowledge of crimes. Actor Kevin Spacey, flight logs, denies involvement. Times political heavyweights. Former Senate Majority Leader George J. Mitchell birthday book entry, letters, mistaken identity Jaifer, claim categorically denies. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak visits to properties, denies misconduct. Economist Larry Summers, flights or leisure schedules, denies awareness. Former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, Jaifer claim before his death denied. Former Vice President Al Gore, acquaintance lists no specific accusations. Times additional names. Modeling scout Jean-Luc Brunel, accused of supplying victims, died in custody in 2022. Strategist Steve Bannon, correspondence. New York Giants corner, Steve Tisch, 2013 letters village meetings. Politician Peter Mandelson, friendships under scrutiny. Duchess of York Sarah Ferguson, financial help lotion photos letters. Norwegian Crown Princess Mette Marit, social meetings, admitted poor judgment. Designer Vera Wang, birthday book contribution schedules. Physician Peter Attia, correspondence. These official DOJ releases, despite partial redactions to protect victims and criticism over incompleteness, highlight Epstein's extraordinary access to the upper echelons of society and raise serious questions about elite accountability, victim protection, and why some connections persisted after the 2008 conviction. For your video titled 25 Big Names Exposed in the Epstein Files, their shocking connections revealed,